America is probably the only country with the most diverse cultural and ethnic backgrounds, and that also reflects in many different prison gangs, street gangs, and other criminal organizations. More than 1.4 million Americans are wearing the colors of more than 33,000 gangs across the country. And even though all of them are dangerous and threatening to the public, there are only a few that keep the FBI on their toes and up at night. We gathered information straight from the FBI's National Gang Threat Assessment Report to find out who the baddest of the bad are. And these are the most dangerous prison and street gangs in America. MS-13. These fellas are the ones that have the FBI worried the most. MS, which is short for Mara Salvatrucha, is perhaps the most dangerous gang in the country at this point. They originally come from sunny El Salvador, and from there the gang has expanded multinationally, with members across the United States, in 42 states, and in countries like Guatemala and Mexico. MS-13 likes to collab with Mexican drug cartels and has no official leadership structure. Some of their Tinder profile pinpoints are notoriously violent, relentlessly cruel, and merciless, with plenty of well-documented public crimes, such as a San Francisco member who killed a family for briefly blocking his car. Though the gang is included in the gang assessment, the FBI has a separate section for them. It also has an MS-13 task force fully dedicated to stopping the group and alerting the public of the threat it poses. The 18th Street Gang. One of the most well-known of the Sureño gangs in Southern California, also considered the largest street gang in California, the 18th Street Gang is said to be responsible for at least one robbery or assault a day in Los Angeles County. The gang is one of the most rapidly expanding criminal groups in America, with its reach extending across 32 states from Maryland to Hawaii. If you were to land a job to interview with them, definitely ask to be in the Hawaiian division. I mean, if you're going to be killing people, you might as well enjoy some great surf and beach sunsets after a long, hard day. Just saying. Though loosely connected, the gang is believed to be the largest street gang in California, with roughly 15,000 members. 18th Street gangbangers have been seen to enjoy homicide, extortion, drug smuggling, and auto theft. They also have infiltrated the US military. Florencia 13. These guys have been caught casually infiltrating the US military and buying weapons from the US military personnel. Yet another rapidly expanding Sureño gang, Florencia 13 works closely with the Mexican Mafia and is a big rival to the 18th Street Squad. Based in the south of Los Angeles, Florencia 13 is part of a horrifying gang war scene that has turned LA into one of the most dangerous counties in the country. It also has members and influence in states like Virginia and Iowa. The gang's favorite hobbies range from piracy to conspiracy to sell drugs and homicide. In 2010, 6 members were given life sentences out of the 94 that pleaded guilty to their crimes. Barrio Azteca, over 2,000 members and growing. One of the most violent prison gangs, the Barrio Azteca emerged in Texas prisons, later served as armed support to the Juarez cartel, and has since evolved to control local drug trafficking in Juarez. The gang's highly organized nature has helped it gain membership on both sides of the border. The organization's top leader was Eduardo Revelo, who formed part of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives list until he was arrested in July 2018. Much of the rest of the Barrio Azteca leadership is based in U.S. jails, where leaders use telephones, the postal service, and secret messages filtered to visitors to communicate with members on the outside. The gang also helped the Juarez cartel to move people and drugs, as well as to acquire weapons and vehicles. In 2010, Barrio Azteca members allegedly slaughtered 15 teenagers at a party, and later that same year, they killed a U.S. consulate employee, her husband, and the husband of another employee in Ciudad Juarez. Barrio Azteca, or Familia Azteca as they like to call themselves, profits mainly by moving heroin, cocaine, and marijuana across the border. The gang also uses other smaller local gangs for manpower, as well as charging other criminals to operate in their territory. Drug distribution makes over half of the gang's revenue. They make their members prioritize gang activities over anything else and have a set of sacred rules, the breaking of which always results in brutal punishment and even death for gang members and their families. Familia Azteca operates with a hierarchical structure similar to that of the army. A committee of generals, both in and out of prison, rule by consensus. Below them, captains control many plazas that are run by lieutenants, then command sergeants who are not always fully fledged members, and finally soldiers or indios who are often underage and are used for the local distribution of small amounts of drugs. They also like to use older model cars to fly under the radar. Black Gorilla family. Well, these guys are something else. They are a very politically motivated prison gang. One of the Black Gorilla family's objectives was to overthrow the United States government. The Black Gorilla family was founded in 1966 in the California prison system by Black Panther George Jackson. Highly organized with a supreme leader and a central committee, the group operates primarily in the states of California and Maryland, promoting an anti-government philosophy. Black Gorilla members even set up an office in a Maryland prison to rule the Baltimore drug world. The gang gets income from distributing cocaine and marijuana obtained from local Mexican drug traffickers, and it's involved in auto theft, burglary, drive-by shootings, and homicide. If you're considering joining their cause, they require lifelong loyalty, and you'll have to pledge a death oath upon joining. Dead Man Incorporated. Sounds like a legit company to me. Founded by 3 prison inmates, they named it the Dead Man Incorporated in the 1980s in one of the Maryland prisons. One of the 3 founders, Perry Rourke, tried to join the Black Gorilla family, but was rejected and so started his own gang. Dead Man Incorporated, as any other powerful corporation would do, started merging with smaller gangs and is now one of the largest prison gangs in Maryland. The gang is involved in drug distribution, murder for hire, blackmailing, and brutal acts of violence. So far, we've covered gangs with Mexican and African American ethnicity. Let's visit our Puerto Rican friends. Los Nieta, 7,000 plus members in Puerto Rico and 5,000 plus in the US. One of the largest and most violent gangs in America, Los Nieta has their fingers in both inside and outside prisons in 36 cities and within 9 states, primarily the Northeast. Nieta's many sources of income come from distributing powdered and crack cocaine, heroin, marijuana, LSD, ecstasy, meth, and PCP. Pretty much every illegal drug there is, Los Nieta are interested in profiteering from it. Nieta members also like to pass their free time by committing crimes including assault, auto theft, burglary, drive-by shootings, extortion, home invasions, money laundering, robbery, weapons, and explosives trafficking. And if you ever commit a crime yourself and there are witnesses, don't you worry. Los Nieta have your back because one of their fortes is also witness intimidation. Jugalos. Well, these guys are so bold, they even sued the FBI for even being on their list. Originally, they started as just a bit crazy and face-painted fans of the horrorcore rap group Insane Clown Posse, and later became a non-traditional hybrid gang with a loose structure and unclear motives. Many jugalos only used to engage in low-level crime, like simple drug possession and theft. You know, boys being boys. But the FBI has noticed increasingly gang-like behavior, such as forming organized subsets and committing more serious crimes, such as felony assaults, thefts, robberies, and drug sales. Though only recognized as a gang in 4 states, they already established a jugalo culture and serious gang-like activities. Imagine being chased by a bunch of crazy psycho clowns. The New York Times reported Psychopathic Records had retained legal counsel to investigate and pursue legal action, including monetary compensation and/or other injunctive relief on behalf of their fan base. And lastly, let's circle back to our Hispanic friends. The almighty Latin King Nation. Well, these fellas are believed to be the largest Hispanic gang in America. Originally formed in Chicago in the 1940s, the highly organized structure of the Latin Kings has helped them become the biggest Hispanic gang in the country. With both a male and female Latin Queens presence, the Latin Kings first started to help the Hispanic community, but then, oops, instead of that, they have evolved into a major criminal organization. The gang's fingers reach to 34 states, and they have an estimated 18,000 members in Chicago alone. But frankly speaking, the real number of their members can be far bigger as they are recruiting faster than Amazon during COVID. Though the gang is divided into the original Chicago Squad and the East Coast Division, all members proudly call themselves the Latin Kings. All members subscribe to the group's religious aesthetics, which calls for the eventual rebirth of a member as a new king. You know, like Jesus, except, well, not really, as these guys are more like warriors from hell.
Scary stuff, scary stuff, scary stuff. Ding!